Front mid-engine sporting GT cars have always been a flagship of Mercedes history. If we go back to the 1930s with the 500K, or the 1950s with the 300 SL, which introduced that legendary gullwing design. So jump to 2003 when the beating heart of AMG was close to cardiac arrest. It must have been when you had the collaboration between Mercedes, AMG and McLaren launching the ludicrous and legendary SLR. Jump to 2010 and we have the almost numb, uninspired SLS, which was not a patch on its predecessor. But now we have the AMG GT, and more importantly this, the AMG GTR. I mean, look at it.
All seen Chris Harris drifting this thing around a circuit and Jeremy Clarkson fiddling with this bit of Lego down here. But what is this like to drive to Tesco in? Let's find out. Pretty loud, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Right. I mean, initially the cockpit, it's a cockpit in here, isn't it?
You literally feel like you're getting in a...
I'm cocooned, I've got a letterbox to look out of. I can not see the end of the bonnet. It's actually quite an intimidating driving position, to be honest.
Because of that bonnet is, you can see all bonnet.
Oh my God, that noise. It's offensive, isn't it?
It's absolutely amazing, isn't it?
I've done 20 mile an hour and I'm smiling like a little childish kid.
I'm squeezing my legs here because it's absolutely spectacular.
My God.
It's like being, do you know what? This is the closest thing we'll ever get to being in the cockpit of a Spitfire.
Yeah. Or a Messerschmitt.
Or a Messerschmitt. It's the same feeling.
I mean, back end just comes out for a laugh, doesn't it?
We're not going to be able to get any audio on this because all you'll hear is that.
Historically, cars like this would feature AMG's 6.3 litre V8. However, like many manufacturers now, they're swapping cylinders and capacity for turbos and electric motors. The 6.3 is now socially unacceptable, especially seems as though the polar ice caps are now melting at a sort of rate of a 99 on a hot summer's day. However, AMG have managed to pack that same punch from this 4 litre twin-turbo V8. In this GTR, the engine sits way back in the engine bay, basically starting here. All this is just airboxes and stuff. The exhaust manifold and twin turbos sit nestled in the cylinder heads of the V, basically to reduce airflow time and essentially hounding the end of turbo lag. It even shuts down 4 cylinders at cruising speeds, giving it the same practicality and efficiency as something like a Golf R. There's a lot of front axle grip in it, you know, even just on these bumpy roads. I feel like it's crashing a little bit. I mean, it is a track car, so it's gonna do. It's gonna crash about and find bumps and what have you and get unsettled, but you can tell that it's so balanced and there's like so much front axle grip, which is why it did that Nurburgring time, because it's a rear-wheel drive car that you can chuck into the corner.
I mean, we might have to correct this on screen later, but I think it was 7 minutes and 10 seconds around the Nurburgring, and at that time it was the fastest rear-wheel drive car ever around the Nurburgring.
I mean, I'm frightened.
Oh yeah. Wait till you get in with me.
Oh, I was frightened following you.
But you know what? It's quite civil, really. Oh,
Civil, yeah?
yeah, really civil.
Oh, them pops. The brakes are insane.
This.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That noise is just addictive, isn't it?
Can you feel the rear wheel steering?
You can at low speeds, definitely at low speeds. It almost feels like it's going to pull a big skid at low speeds, but I think what that is, it's the diff and the rear wheel steering sort of like counteracting each other. And when you get it going, you don't know what it's doing. It just looks like...
Feels planted,
it just feels like it's on rails, though. That's obviously that's what it's doing. It's just doing its job, and it's just on rails. Look how flat it is.
What was I going to say?
A little bit more confident now.
Stupendous, man. It's so good. And I'm passenger. And I can feel it.
It's almost pressing on your chest, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like the noise. It's like being in a club.
It's like being in a plane.
Yeah. Oh my god. No, I mean, I've been driving it on like quarter throttle.
I know. I don't
Put my
think...
foot down then, and it like the ABS light came straight.
Yeah, you
I was in
need...
third gear.
Yeah, you actually need a track, in a way, to really get the most out of this car.
Yeah, look at that. Like it just wants to slide, doesn't it?
577 brake horsepower and nearly 700 newton meters allow a 0 to 62 time of 3.6 seconds. At 1,555 kilograms, that's 371 brake horsepower per tonne. AMG have also managed a near 50-50 weight distribution, even with the transaxle configuration. It's actually slightly rear biased at 47 to 53. The GTR has a stiffened chassis over the standard car, but the same carbon prop shaft, or torque tube as the Germans like to call it. The roof is also carbon to aid CG. Mighty 6-piston carbon ceramics are optional, 402mm on the front. It wears sticky Pilot Sport Cup 2 rubber, epic 325 sections on the rear. Continuing the race spec theme, the rear wing is manually adjustable, as is the double wishbone forged aluminium suspension. There's F1 inspired active aero going on with the GTR's front end too. Active louvers and a clever front splitter deploying at 50 mph reduce lift over the front axle. Its gaping mouth directs air down the flanks and into the brakes for cooling. The engine cylinders even wear an F1 derived nanoslide coating to reduce wear and friction.
Ride's excellent.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's why we're taking it to Tesco, because like I said, we've seen everybody drifting it around the track and stuff, but what's it like to live with?
Yeah, I mean so far I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Considering the kind of car we're in, it's very comfortable. These seats, Alcantara seats and leather.
Yeah, bucket seats
really hugging you. I mean, I'm a big lad, you know, and I feel very comfortable. The lad that owns this car, Harry, he's 6'4" like me.
Yeah,
which is
the
first time I've got in a car and not had to change the seat position.
Oh dear me.
It's great. It's so much fun.
It's a beast.
Again, Harry was talking about he's bought this car because he wants a GT car. He wants to be able to drive, you know, to Ibiza in it. He wants to be able to take it to places. And you know what? You could. It's got a reasonable boot.
I'd be more than happy to get to Ibiza and realise I've forgotten my swimming trunks.
Yeah. I agree. On that bucket seat.
Oh heck.
Oh my into that gear, just there's no thought, is there? It's instant. It's literally, in fact, before I've sent the signal to my finger to change gear, it already knows.
Yeah.
AMG already know that I want to change gear. Interior-wise, what do you reckon?
I mean, it feels very enclosed. I feel this is massive for some reason.
Centre console is enormous. I love that though. I mean, that'll be harbouring that enormous drive shaft that's going to the back.
Carbon torque tube, as they call it.
And you know, all the toys that are going through to the back of the car. The gearbox is obviously at the back of this car, isn't it?
Yeah. But like, this is all nicely stitched leather all the way along the dashboard. There's no cheap plastic anywhere.
I've seen a couple of people say that they feel that maybe there's a few cheap plastic. I don't think this feels cheap.
This inlay here is kind of a cheap plastic, but I mean,
I can get over it. All the buttons are metal.
If it were a £300,000 supercar, which is not, then fair enough. You want it to be metal or whatever, or carbon, but it's not.
This is definitely one of the more accessible. I say accessible like that. Supercars.
I agree.
You know, like
what can we get for £100,000? GT3, R8.
Yeah, I wouldn't want an R8. Would you want an R8?
No, I wouldn't want an R8.
They're a bit boring.
No.
Sorry, R8 owners.
And I like Audis as well, but I just wouldn't have an R8. Aston Martin, new Aston Martin V8 Vantage. I mean, that'd be a good test against this, actually. Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is definitely a contender.
If there's any Aston Martin V8 Vantage owners out there that want us to take the car onto this channel, do get in touch in the comments and we will reach out to you. But yeah, I feel very cocooned. I feel very safe. I feel like I'm in a plane, I'll be honest with you. I feel like I'm flying a jet. But I feel like we could put some wings on it and we could take off.
It probably would take off at all if it had wings on it.
No, everything feels really solid, everything looks quality. I don't think it'll date in here either.
No.
I know kind of kept it simple enough that
I think manufacturers in general are cottoning on to the fact that all these screens and stuff now are going to be, in 10 years, they're going to be out of date.
Obsolete.
So they're going back to nice buttons, nice metal touches, nice metal buttons, simple screens, and just leaving it at that, which is a good move, I think, because look at like cars from the 90s with screens in it that thought they were cool. And
Windows
like
98.
Now, Windows 98, with blue screen and stuff. They just look crap. Jesus Christ.
You literally backed your pants then.
Camera flew back here.
Bobbed it. Could do with getting past this Hyundai i10.
Oh my god.
In Ron Burgundy. Whatever colour it is.
Oh dear. Who goes to a dealership and looks at a Hyundai i10 and goes,
that is the car for me.
Yeah. Who does that?
Maybe older people that don't like cars.
They don't care. Oh my god.
Yes!
That was quick. Shoves you back in your seat like that.
Wow, it can plant the torque, there's no doubt about it. Those turbos kicking in at different points
there's
in the
There's just no lag, is there?
No, it's instant. It's absolutely instant.
I would think that this was naturally aspirated if it weren't crackling and popping and everything else.
Yeah.
It honestly feels like a naturally aspirated engine.
It sounds like one.
Yeah.
It really does. It sounds like a proper V8, man. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a passenger. Well, I mean, obviously my heart's going to be going as a passenger with you driving, but when I was driving, my heart were going. Definitely makes you feel something, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I don't think I've stopped smiling since I saw it this morning.
No, my cheeks are hurting a bit, actually. Just keep going, turn around, down at the...
Give them a bit of a show. They like that. Yeah, so what do you reckon?
I'm completely sold. I think if you've got £100,000 to spend on a car, like, consider one of these, because it's like, obviously I've not drove every GT car under the sun, but if you want a GT car, I can't imagine them getting any better than this. It's like the perfect balance of savage and refinement.
Yeah, it's perfectly weighted. You can feel every aspect of the drive. There's zero turbo lag. It's incredibly quick. It's comfortable. The stereo's good. You've got air conditioning. You've got very comfortable seats. I mean, it really is a do-it-all supercar. I mean, I don't know what else you could want in a supercar, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything you don't like? The only thing I don't particularly like is this green. And I know you see in this green in pictures all the time, but in person, it does actually look better than you think it does. But I'd still go with something a bit subtle, like, you know, your typical Mercedes silver or something like that.
I mean, I approached the colour having not seen it in the flesh and thought it's not really for me. Now I've seen it, I have completely fallen in love with it, and to be honest, I totally get it. I mean, if you want to make this car just have that extra bit of pizzazz, you know, get it in that what is it, green hell Magno paint.
Or something, yeah.
It's an £8,000 option or something, but definitely worth it.
I just can't stop looking at it. I just think it's
gorgeous.
I think it's beautiful.
I'm just going to step to one side there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
That rear quarter and now that nose sticks out a little bit. Just, it's iconic. I think this will be a future classic. Definitely.
100%. I think this is a car that's going to age very well, both inside and out. They've fitted proper physical buttons to do everything. It's not all touchscreen.
Yeah.
They've nailed it.
They have.
They've absolutely nailed it. It's amazing.
Well, we are, for once, for the first time on the channel, we are in agreement about something. The AMG GTR, there you go.
Yeah. So don't forget, please do like, comment and subscribe, because it does encourage us to do more of these.
Absolutely. I'm going to go and buy some schnitzel.